The next news that I'm going to bring you is not something that Africa we want. Now, as we speak today in the breaking news, that the Rwandan army is crossing border in DRC, Democratic Republic of Congo, to help the rebels M23 to seize the capital of the region where the war is going on, the capital Goma in the eastern DRC. Here is what The Guardian has shared in its article, and let's go through it. Yeah, right there. Okay, so now here it says, intelligence sources suggest battle for Congolese regional capital Goma is imminent before the UN Security Council crisis talks on Monday. Now, large numbers of troops from Rwanda have been pouring across the border into the Democratic Republic of Congo to help rebels seize the regional capital of Goma before an emergency UN meeting about the crisis to take place on Monday, according to the intelligence officials have warned. Now, Rwandan's defense force, also known as RDF, soldiers are believed to have secretly crossed into the eastern DRC over the past few days to assist a lightning offensive by the M23 militia or rebels. Officials speaking to the Observer on the condition of anonymity added that the RDF had cranked up the pressure on the embattled Congolese city by amassing vast numbers of troops on the Rwandan side of the border, a few hundred meters just from central Goma. Most of the RDF, meaning the Rwandan Defense Force, most senior commanders are also said to have been deployed in the Rwandan city Gisenyi, less than a mile across the border from Goma. The Rwandan army is lined up at the border ready to invade. This is in quote, said a source who has in-depth knowledge of RDF and is privy to real-time intelligence. Fierce skirmishes between M23 and advanced units and the Congolese army were reported on the outskirts of Goma throughout Saturday. 9 South African peacekeepers were among those killed attempting to defend the city. So as if you remember, it's about a year ago, I think the DRC or the DRC president has called for the Eastern African community in which DRC belongs to, has kicked out that military or peacekeeping mission, and they have led the Southern African Development Community, which is the SADC military. So this is why now this report is telling you those South African soldiers, because of the SADC who are there. Now, an Uruguayan member of a UN peacekeeping force was also killed and 4 others wounded, the Uruguay military announced on Saturday. Now, the Uruguayan peacekeepers were wrapping up a 1-year mission. Army, according to this, is the spokesman of the Uruguayan military, and their replacement were due to arrive next week, but flights have been suspended because of the ongoing war. Sorry. Now, the Uruguayan unit was working 24 hours a day, which is to ensure the evacuation of non-essential civilian and military personnel from the city of Goma. Now, the front line appears to be moving ever close to Goma's outskirts, with one source saying the fighting was close to as Mzulo, almost within the city limits, having bypassed the vast refugee camps that hold more than 1 million people displaced by the fighting. A major offensive by the Rwandan-backed M23 was, however, foiled overnight, and then, according to this is the Congolese army. Quote, Goma's defenses are just about holding out, but they, meaning Rwanda, want to take Goma before the UNSC Security Council, and then they can negotiate, This is how it is done. So the UN Security Council, whose responsibility is securing international peace and security, is scheduled to hold an emergency meeting on Monday to discuss on the unfolding crisis. Now, you all know that the M23 it's a rebel that is fighting against the government of DRC. And it's not anymore a secret that Rwanda backs M23. And this is known by the United Nations. This is known by the neighboring countries. This is known by the African Union, but nobody is saying anything against President Paul Kagame to back down. But President Felix Tshisekedi of DRC have said it, mentioned it in numerous times, in fact, that Rwanda is backing M23. And this is why also where the Angola-led peace negotiation for the two countries between Rwanda and DRC has failed because, Rwanda pulled out in the last minute, saying that DRC has to talk with the rebel leader, not Rwanda, meaning saying that we have nothing to do, we have nothing to do with the rebels. The DRC president said, no, these people are backed by Rwanda. Without Rwanda, they are nothing. And so we need to talk with Rwanda. And that's why the peace talk has failed. Also, the DRC leader has accused Paul Kagame in different times. In fact, he even said, we go to war with Rwanda. That's what he said. Also during when the organization of the Francophone countries in the world have gathered in Paris a couple of months ago, both leaders were invited, but DRC's president Tshisekedi has walked out because he said President Emmanuel Macron was not acknowledging and saying something about the fact that Rwanda is meddling in the issue of DRC and the rebels, and that it's backing the rebels. In fact, if anything, Macron has been, in bed, as they say in politics, with Rwanda because they want Rwanda for what they're doing in Mozambique. It's like, I scratch for you, you scratch for me. It's they don't care about what these countries are going on, about the reality on the ground. It's about the benefits that they get out of it. But it's for me, it doesn't matter about France. It doesn't matter about the United Nations. What saddens me is that the African Union cannot say anything, about the affairs that are happening in the continent. So, and we heard the African Union saying that, recently releasing a statement after Donald Trump said that he's going to he has signed that the document in the US is withdrawing itself from the WHO, the World Health Organization membership. And they have released a statement. But there are affairs that are happening in the continent, such as the DRC-Rwanda conflict and Rwanda, and nothing is said. So, this is a reality of our own continent. But yeah, let us know in the comment section, what do you think of this? It's definitely a sad situation. Well, let's see where this goes. Hopefully, after Monday, the UN Security Council gathers, maybe there is something, but I don't think the Rwanda will back from this. But yeah, share your view. That was it for now. Thank you very much again for tuning in. I will see you on the next.